Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get ready to be informed and entertained at the same time. Welcome to Rosemary's World of Cannabis. We're going to go ahead and get this public service announcement out the way, and then from there, 10 minutes after the hour, we'll have Oppie's Law on, and we're going to have a conversation about cannabis. Are you ready? I am.
Are you feeling like a shadow of yourself? Is your mood on its way down? You could be suffering from low THC, also known as cannabinoid deficiency, caused by 77 years of government interference via prohibition. Do you live in a medical cannabis state or the District of Columbia? Are you over the age of 18 and seeking non-toxic natural health, well-being, and peace of mind? Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. After 10,000 years of recorded human use and 77 years of failed prohibition on the world's most extensively tested plant, the results are in. Cannabis has no known lethal dose and is arguably the safest and most comprehensive therapeutic substance known to man. Cannabis remained in the United States pharmacopoeia until 1941, and cannabinoids are currently patented by the federal government as an anti-inflammatory. U.S. Patent 6630507. Human brains have cannabinoid receptors. Cannabinoids are lubricants in the human body. Due to prohibition, our bodies have been denied essential lubrication. Imagine never changing or adding to the oil in your car. The use of cannabis for low THC may cause immediate relief, including a general feeling of well-being, chronic smiling or laughing, feelings of euphoria, increased creativity or clarity, a greater appreciation for music and art, the desire to dance, increased feelings of inspiration, compassion or unity, a need for truth and justice, or you may wake feeling more well-rested than usual. It's undetermined to know exactly how many symptoms the use of cannabis may alleviate because of federal prohibition. There were dozens identified in the 1909 Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Handbook. Currently, over 80% of the population supports the right to use cannabis therapeutically, and 92% of its users have declared significant non-toxic relief. The most common side effects, which are usually mild to moderate and may fade or disappear completely over time, are dry mouth and drowsiness. Other more serious side effects can include growing and repairing brain cells and DNA, or improve vision, may prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, glaucoma, nausea, and suicide, may provide relief from autism, asthma, anorexia, arthritis, AIDS, cancer, Crohn's, depression, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, gout, IBS, insomnia, MS, migraine, pain, Parkinson's, PTSD, and spasticity. Use caution while driving or doing other physical activities until you know how cannabis affects you. May cause paranoia or nervousness, specifically caused by real-life government intervention in your quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the USA. Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. Brought to you as a public service announcement by the People's Plant, a campaign of conscience.
Do you support diversity in cannabis? If so, Minorities for Medical Marijuana is for you. Minorities for Medical Marijuana, Inc. is a nonprofit organization focused on advocacy, outreach, and education regardless of the business, medical, social reform, and public policy aspects of the community. Join us. Membership has its advantages. Monthly cannabis meetings and investor network meeting, cannabis training and scholarships, DICE, diversity, cannabis expertise, networking mixers, physicians network, cannabis career center, business development, cannabis pitch fest, and public policy updates. For more information, you can contact 877-900-8322 or www.m4mmunited.org or on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Vote for Bud now. Once again, that is Minorities for Medical Marijuana. I am the chapter president of the South Carolina chapters of Minorities for Medical Marijuana, and I'm a proud member to be a part of it. Come join us. If you don't want to run your own chapter, hey, come join us here in South Carolina. We'd be glad to have the help. You get to meet new people, you get to experience some great things, and also you get to hang out with yours truly. Once again, that is Minorities for Medical Marijuana. Tell them Rosemary sent you. You hear me? And we're back. It is now 5 minutes after the hour. You're in tune to 710 Radio, Rosemary's World of Cannabis. And excuse me, I got choked up just then. We're waiting on Oppie to call in on Oppie's Law. He told me he'd call in about 10 minutes, so in about 5 minutes he'll be calling. But whilst we're waiting on him to call in, I'm going to share a little bit of news that I shared up on my Facebook page and also on Miss Green Jean's page as well. It has been two players, not one, but two NFL players has been the first of this year to be arrested for marijuana in 2018. This is a story through Celebrity Stoner. The players are Reuben Foster on January 12th, San Francisco 49er linebacker arrested in Tuscaloosa, Alabama after a traffic stop and charged with second-degree possession of marijuana. He was released on a $2,500 bond. Foster played football for the University of Alabama. Roll Tide, okay? Carlos Henderson on January 15th, Denver Broncos wide receiver arrested in West Monroe, Louisiana after a traffic stop for speeding and charged with possession of a controlled substance. Parentheses, marijuana. The police report claims he admitted to smoking pot earlier that night. Henderson played ball for Louisiana Tech. The breakdown. We already have 2 players arrested. 2 players that's male. 2 players is African American. 1 Alabama and 1 is Louisiana. So I got a question for you folks. You think there's a problem about that? Do you really? I think there is, guys. I mean, let's keep it real there. And if you like to go to Celebrity Stoner, they have the back years from Drug Celebrity Bust in 2017, 2016. I'm going to give you the numbers real quick. I'm not going to read out all two. In 2017, there were 23 celebrities busted with some type of drugs. In 2016, there were 20. In 2015, there were 8. Somebody must have got off the job at that time. In 2014, there were 43. In 2013, there were 48. In 2012, there were 39. In 2011, there were 66. In all total, we all know who the most of the people were arrested. I can guarantee you could go right now to Celebrity Stoner on that page, and you can tell me how many people were arrested on there and what were their nationalities. We already know that. So the question is this: while Sessions and his boys are getting ready to bust down people's doors, and we got people like Lindsey Graham want to play footsies with the truth about cannabis, we have a severe problem here, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody wants to admit it, but it's race-based and it's full of shit. You know, a lot of people don't want to admit it, but it is. You know, everybody else can drive around. You know, I'm quite sure there are white and other celebrities that smoke weed. I'm almost positive of it. But they ain't never getting busted, you know, for drugs. I wonder why. Let me think. Because they're white? Let's be real. The white card has privilege. I hate to say it, but it's true. You know, and it's bad to the point at one time I had some friends of mine that used to joke, you got to keep a white friend with you to keep you from getting in trouble. And that's sad. You should have that white friend just because they're a friend yourself. We got a caller coming in. Let's see if this is the person I want to talk to. Good morning. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was you. Okay, we're going to go back to a quick commercial break, guys, and then we're going to bring back Oppie back on the air, okay? You're in tune to 710 Radio, the Wake and Bake. Oh, excuse me. Dang, I have been up too long this morning already. Let's try this again. We'll be right back in just a moment with Rosemary's World of Cannabis on 710 Radio.
Are you feeling like a shadow of yourself? Is your mood on its way down? You could be suffering from low THC, also known as cannabinoid deficiency, caused by 77 years of government interference via prohibition. Do you live in a medical cannabis state or the District of Columbia? Are you over the age of 18 and seeking non-toxic natural health, well-being, and peace of mind? Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. After 10,000 years of recorded human use and 77 years of failed prohibition on the world's most extensively tested plant, the results are in. Cannabis has no known lethal dose and is arguably the safest and most comprehensive therapeutic substance known to man. Cannabis remained in the United States pharmacopoeia until 1941, and cannabinoids are currently patented by the federal government as an anti-inflammatory U.S. patent 6630507. Human brains have cannabinoid receptors. Cannabinoids are lubricants in the human body. Due to prohibition, our bodies have been denied essential lubrication. Imagine never changing or adding to the oil in your car. The use of cannabis for low THC may cause immediate relief, including a general feeling of well-being, chronic smiling or laughing, feelings of euphoria, increased creativity or clarity, a greater appreciation for music and art, the desire to dance, increased feelings of inspiration, compassion or unity, a need for truth and justice, or you may wake feeling more well-rested than usual. It's undetermined to know exactly how many symptoms the use of cannabis may alleviate because of federal prohibition. There were dozens identified in the 1909 Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Handbook. Currently, over 80% of the population supports the right to use cannabis therapeutically, and 92% of its users have declared significant non-toxic relief. The most common side effects, which are usually mild to moderate and may fade or disappear completely over time, are dry mouth and drowsiness. Other more serious side effects can include growing and repairing brain cells and DNA or improve vision, may prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, dementia, glaucoma, nausea, and suicide. May provide relief from autism, asthma, anorexia, arthritis, AIDS, cancer, Crohn's, depression, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, gout, IBS, insomnia, MS, migraine, pain, Parkinson's, PTSD, and spasticity. Use caution while driving or doing other physical activities until you know how cannabis affects you. May cause paranoia or nervousness, specifically caused by real-life government intervention in your quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the USA. Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. Brought to you as a public service announcement by the People's Plant, a campaign of conscience.
Okay, guys, we're back. Hey, I'm sorry if it was a brief pause. I had to let the doggies in. So, caller, who we got on the air right now?
What's happening? This is Luke of Oppie's Law.
All right. Hang on, Oppie. We're going to get you situated right there. All right, Oppie, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, I'm going to make sure my audience can hear you, too. Okay, go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Luke of Oppie's Law. Thanks for having me on the show today, Rosemary.
Well, first of all, I thank you for contacting me and letting me know that you wanted to be on the air. I feel it's an honor and a privilege because, Oppie, we've gone back a long way. I realized, I looked at on Facebook recently, and I didn't realize we had been friends as long as we have now. So we got to know each other pretty well.
The first time we met was my first visit to Colorado.
Wow.
I believe it was with Rick Wainwright and Dr. Kush.
That is correct.
Yeah, on Rumble Radio. So yeah, it's been a while. It's definitely been a while.
Yes,
I'm honored. I'm honored to have meet so many people in this industry. There are some good people here, and it's pretty cool.
Yes, it is pretty cool. It's a funny thing that I'm still with Rick with 710. So you notice that, even though we have not have the same call letters, but we're still doing the same thing, and you are too. So that lets you know we're all timers in this industry as of now.
Right. I think one of the coolest things about my journey in this industry is the people that I met that have good, wholehearted, that their integrity hasn't changed. It's still the same thing. That's a rarity in this industry. It really is. It truly is. Because everybody's so hyped on the dollar bill now.
Yeah.
What?
Well, you got to think about it. We've seen all that back in 2014, but I hate to say it, Oppie, it's got worse. It's got way worse.
It has. And that's the sad part, because it's like, I hate to say it, but it's a medical plant just to get in the door of a wallet. That's pretty much what it is, what it's come down to. Yep,
and us as activists, we get used. A lot of people won't admit that, but we get used.
Yeah. As an activist, I don't know myself, you give so much as an activist. You give yourself so much. I mean, I've given a lot to be where I'm at as an activist. I mean, just even as a patient, I left the state that I was living in with my kids to be a patient for medical marijuana out in Washington. So to just be alive from this plant, let alone fight for this plant, I've given up my freedom with my kids for it, And we was talking about this the other day, what people don't realize what activists go through to fight for people to have this right and to have this education and to be aware of this plant,
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. I mean, there's people that are getting pent up by the Department of Justice, by the government, just for talking about it, teaching about it, doing what they're doing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and that's always going to be a stigma, because the feds, until they reschedule it or take it off, we're all criminals. That's what I don't get about it. Everybody's so hyped up on medical and recreational, but yet, why aren't we doing something on such a bigger level to free it for everybody?
Exactly.
Because realistically, after I've been here in Pennsylvania for a little over a year now, being part of this medical program, I was so gung-ho and hoped about it. A fucking beautiful program. And today, a little over a year into it, and see, when I came here, Rosemary, I followed the process just like everybody else did. I didn't get no special favors. And that's to the contrary. Oppie's Law got nothing special or gifted out of coming to Pennsylvania. We did it just like everybody else has. And right now, I stand pretty kind of disappointed with it. You know, because it's like, when it first came out, you heard all this fun stuff about how it was going to be this way for the people here. And now you look at it, it's like it's everybody but for the people here.
Yeah, you was telling me off the air while we was getting ready to come back on air that y'all can't vape flower.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, their medical program, there's no flower. You know, it's tinctures, oils, edibles, and lotion is what you can have. You can't go into a dispensary here and buy flower.
Wow. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a serious money grab. If you, I mean, they put the most expensive products for the patients to get. So once again, the patients have been left out.
Yeah. And it's all about the, I mean, and that's, you know, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a really long time. And to watch how it's turned from such patient compassion to a bankroll in a fucking building. You know, it's ridiculous on some levels. I mean, it should be about everybody, and that's what Oppie's Law started out to be 5 years ago when I came out as a public figure. It was a common law idea, just like the Amish book for this. You know, it pains me to see how in Pennsylvania you can't have flour, but in Washington you can. I mean, Colorado you can, wherever except for Pennsylvania.
No, you know, Florida's the same way as well, Oppie. You can't have flour. You cannot smoke flour in Florida. They sell it, but you can't smoke it. Now, you tell me what kind of dumb shit is that?
Right, and then the people that don't realize you can vape it, they're all in a panic and thinking they're getting screwed, so that causes chaos just there because people talk.
Oh, yeah.
People talk.
Once again, that flourishes the black market. But what flourishes the black market even more is when you have states that don't have it. And that's the thing what people fail to realize is this. Transportation across the Mexico border has dropped 35% since Colorado and all the other states have went to legal means, even if it's recreational or medically. Each state that goes to a recreational or medical states, the suicide rates drop 25%. But here in South Carolina, we still get double rhetoric. I hope you got a chance to read the letter that I got from Senator Lindsey Graham.
Right. Sorry.
That's okay. Do your dab, boo-boo. I'm happy for you. Dab on out. That's what I love about doing live radio, guys. When you got to understand, doing some of these shows, it gets really intense, and I understand he can do a dab on there. I can't do none of that on there because I don't need to knock a 5 on my door.
And see, you know, it's funny, too, because we're at a time now, when you look back even 5 years ago, the conversation in the area of conversation about this plant being medically or recreational is very small. When I say that, I'm talking like it was California, Colorado, Washington.
Right.
It's such a phenomenal across not just our country but around the world now with how it's such this medical value. And it makes you sit back and go, how the hell did the feds still own it then?
Right.
Somebody explain this to me.
I'm still waiting on that explanation too, Oppie. So when they give it to you, I hope they give it to me too, because I'm going to be honest with you. And people get mad when I say this, but the laws are racist. The laws are racist, and I feel that anybody that still wants to uphold these laws are racist.
You know, and it's sad because I was just talking to somebody the other day who was talking how when you look at the penalties and convictions of this marijuana plant, they do differ based on community and race and so many factors as well. And that's the devastating part because of the penalties that fucking kill people with this plant. In Pennsylvania, it's, from what I understand, and I was doing some research yesterday, that you can have your medicine. You can't have a pipe or nothing to use it because that's the paraphernalia case. Even in these deep crim cities like Philly, Harrisburg, where it's deep crim, but you get caught with a fucking bag of weed, it's a ticket. But if you get caught with the weed or the papers, it's a misdemeanor and you're going to jail.
Whoa!
Explain that shit.
Please explain that one to me. Oh my God, that is ludicrous.
Over in Indiana, that's what majority of those court cases that revolve around marijuana. That the marijuana possession charge is your plea bargain, but they're going to get you for the paraphernalia on a heartbeat because it's more of a fine.
And they don't want to. And this is the sad thing about it for states like Indiana, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, and all these other southern states. They've been so happy with taking people's property, taking people's money, taking people's life, breaking up families and everything else for so long. Now that they done found out they can't, that's about to come to an end, they don't want to give up that free money. And that's sad. They're making money on the backs of people that really can't afford to go to jail, that really can't afford a lawyer, and it's just a revolving door. What it is they're getting free labor out of these people. They don't want to admit it, but that's what's going on. These prisons have manufacturing companies that charges pennies to the dollar on labor through that prisoner for him or her to work hours a day in their slave shops. They don't want to admit it, but that's all it is.
Yep. And it's funny too because somebody made a statement the other day that you can kill somebody with DUI and be out of prison and have a political chair faster than you would think about it having a conviction of a pot seed.
Oh, sad but so true.
It is. It really is. You can kill somebody drunk driving and be out of prison faster than you can if you get caught with a fucking gram of pot in your pocket.
So please tell me what's wrong with this issue. It's a plant. But
right.
Have you looked at, I know you have you looked at all the laws that they currently have up on Capitol Hill for them to vote on for any part of cannabis or recreational or anything? Did you realize we had a lot of bills out there that ain't the media, the local media, national media, no other media is talking about?
Do what was that again? I'm sorry.
Okay, we have a lot of medical bills out there in the House and Senate right now that nobody's talking about. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we got 6. I'm going to have to recount to make sure. We have 6 current bills out there floating along, and all these different representatives done tagged onto them. But nobody's talking about this in the local national media. Can anybody answer me that question, why?
It's a good question. And, that's so true because when I was in Alabama a couple years ago, when we learned about the Phelps bill that was down there, and that was one of the things that really puzzled me was if this bill got through House and committee and it got shelved during recess, why did it never get picked back up?
Because they can't figure out a way to make money off of it. It's all about dollars and cents.
Once you do the research, what was funny, what I really was disheartened to find is after we tried researching it, we found out that the certain party that got it that far, he got a payoff from a Pfizer company.
Oh my God!
And forgot about it. Boom. So that was when I first realized how impactful a pharmaceutical payoff is.
See, if we had the money, and this is no lie, if we had the money and the money that Big Pharma has, so we could get this passed and done, this would have been a done deal. But we don't have the resources to grease somebody's pockets like that. And it's sad that we don't, but, we're just regular people out here trying to be well, trying to stay well for our families and everything. But at the same time, they want us to grease their pockets. And I'm not going to do it. We pay you a salary each month or every 2 weeks or however these people getting paid. This is what I personally suggest, is that if they don't want to do that job, stop their payment. Go through government finance, hit stop pay, and let them get an NPD, a no pay due. Because you ain't earned that money. They have not, because they're not representing the people.
It's funny, too, to watch how people change once they get those seats. I'm not going to drop no names or nothing, but I recently was in a situation where there was a political seat available, political talk, all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they hear the person that's running for that seat his view on cannabis, and now that he's got that, his view on cannabis has dramatically changed. Like, that's one thing that just gets me just so agitated. Like, and people don't realize that.
Well, I want you to call their name out. I want you to put their name out because they need to be known. Because if that's what they did, they don't need to be elected next term. We can't be quiet about these guys.
Okay, Rosemary, now let's go back to the conversation we had offline a couple days ago. Me dropping those names probably isn't in my best interest.
Okay, at that rate, we'll go ahead and let that go at that then. You can bring, hey, you know how to bring me back to course real quick.
Again, I may be a stoner to the contrary, but I'm a fucking bright one. I know when it's time to fight my battles and when it's not.
I know that's right, but on that note, I can understand.
So me stepping aside as a public figure at the moment, me making this announcement, and you're doing, this is my last show I'm doing for probably a while. I have learned that there are some things you just do not keep doing, and you sit back and try to figure it out. So yeah, we're stepping aside to reevaluate things, put Oppie's Law back on front burner, and to kind of enjoy life at the moment. You know, I've been doing this for so long. I've been to 37 states, done a lot of cool things, and yeah, I'm honored. But it's time to step back and let somebody else pick up.
I feel you.
Let somebody else enjoy the ride.
It's like this here, Oppie, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been doing this for a long time too, and I took a step aside. I think it was before or after Thanksgiving, and I didn't come back to the first of the year. I did it for several reasons. One, I did it because of my illness. Two, I did it because I was tired. And three, you just have to take a break. You know, like I said once again, people don't realize when you be out there being the figure that you are, that you take away from your families, your friends, your children, everything. And you like me, you give 110% of yourself every time you're out there. If you're not doing shows like this one, you're online or whatever, that takes time away from your families. And I mean, sometimes you have to take that break. You have to recharge your batteries. And I'm going to make this open statement right now. Whenever you decide to come back, I would love for you to be the first, your show be the first one right here on, don't matter what platform I'm on. And I'm hoping to be farther than this I'm hoping to syndicate this show sometime this year. I ain't gonna say when, but that is one of my goals, to get this show syndicated. And whatever platform it is, I would love for you to come back on my show first.
I would love to and be honored to. And I think this is kind of cool because you're my last radio show. And then my last event is going to be hanging out with Killer Priest and Wu-Tang Clan in Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow. Will you please do me a favor? Please, please, please have them to say hello for me.
I'll see what I can do. But yeah, we're going up for an event with Carol Black and Associates. We were invited out there. Those are some great people. They're in Pittsburgh doing great things for great patients. And, you know, that's one of those, I've in 5 years' time, there's been just a few companies that I kind of have ran next to or ran with or really talked about. In like Pennsylvania's for Safer Access, Christian Brilliant out there, Mechanicsburg. They're grassroots, all about the patient and making sure the patients not only have access, but to understand it. Because now that we're coming into a time of this being a medicine and so popular, there are so many people that are so uneducated about this plant. And that's because we've spent 50 years of bullshit from the government teaching us not to.
Right.
You know, so that's why people like you and I and everybody else that does this, Captain Kurt from Captain Edibles out there in Michigan, Danny Polar out there in Michigan, Kevin Saunders out there in California, all these people, you know, what we do, we're doing what the government has lacked to done for us. We are taking it ourselves, and that's why it's so important to come together and work as one. Because there's so many people that are still going to be uneducated even when it becomes legalized.
That is so true, Oppie. That is so true. But yeah, you have my number, and if they'd like to even come on the show, the day of the show, the week before the show, whatever the case may be, you have my number. You know what time I come on the air. I will stop an interview just to do that interview. That's how important it is to me.
And we love you too, Rosemary. You'll have to shoot me your address. And I think I wanted to say something too on your show. I think we're going to do one more run of shirts for Seed Life. So I'm going to see about getting you a shirt sent out, a Seed Life shirt. Okay,
and you know I'll be sporting it. As time as you send it to me, I will be sharing it on Facebook. You know I love my T-shirts. So, yeah, I'm excited. I will definitely shoot you my address after we get off air today and do that. But thank you so very much. But I want to thank you personally because when I first met you, I had just moved out to Colorado. And I was when I said my name is Miss Green Jeans, as my name as I used formerly on One Blunt Radio and using currently on my Wake and Bake show, my butt was green as grass. The only thing I knew about is from the articles I read on High Times, all the studies I did through Google and everything else. When I went to Cannabis University and all the other great programs they had out in Denver and observed and kept going after, even when I came back here to South Carolina, I just kept digging and learning and observing and everything and learning more about these laws. I just figured like this here, even though I stopped for a while and came back, it was too important because people are going all across the country and they need to know about these laws and how different laws affects different states, because I don't want my friends getting locked up because they don't know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Washington State and Washington D.C. have different laws on cannabis, okay? Right?
Right.
So they need to know.
And it's important too, because as we're coming through to this cusp of this new laws for recreational and medical, people need to be aware of what's going on in their community. Trust me, just because you're in a state that says you have legal pot, you better make sure your neighbors are on the same page.
Exactly.
You better make sure your little town, because there's places in Colorado you cannot grow pot.
Exactly.
So when people are all up on this bum rush of let's go to Colorado or let's come to Pennsylvania, you know what? Figure your shit out, because it may not always be what you hear.
Exactly. That is so true. And especially, I had a friend of mine, I ain't gonna call no names out, that were talking to me about moving to Colorado, and they're talking about buying property. I said, whoa. I said, wait a minute, friend. Before you buy property out in Colorado, you better make sure you got water rights. And they said, what you mean by water rights? Don't water come with the land? I said, no, it don't. And that's the scary thing about going to these different states. I ask everybody on every chance I get to educate yourself on the laws of each state, because if you don't, you could be buying yourself in one heck of a mess.
Exactly. And see, you know, and I've always said this too, and I've said this for I know loud and proud for 5 years. I just wish people would be more compliant when they have the opportunity. Because for every bad mark and every bad report against this plant is furthered our freedom to it.
So true.
You know, when your state says you can grow 50 plants, then grow 50 plants. Don't go through 1,000. Really? That just makes us look like we're that much of a reason why you should be legalized and not legalize this plant.
I know.
You know, so on top of knowing where you're at and what your rules are, make sure you're in compliance too, because it really is worth it in the long run.
No, it's not.
But you don't want to get your crop up and going and have them kick the door in the middle of it.
Tell you like this, here, they ain't gonna respect it. No.
That's coming. But see, I had the opportunity to get a grow on a farm in Washington when it was medical, back years ago, when it actually meant something. So you know, it has changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, but check this out. Oppie, you the best person to talk about this ever. We always talk about medical and recreational all the time. People don't understand when I say, you know, you don't, in certain cases, you don't want recreational. And the reason I say that is this. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but what I'm trying to say is this. Medical gets ruined when recreational come in. Would you like to talk to them a little more about that in detail?
Yeah, be a good example, Washington State, the I-502. Beautiful medical program. It ran there solid for 10 years, 15 years. Beautiful. Then recreational came in. Now here's what happened to that. So the patients that were patients and used to it and accepted it, now they can't find a dispensary to get their medicine. Or if they do, they are still going to pay a little more now because your dispensary that is medical is now recreational at the same time. Couple weeks, couple months, maybe a year goes by, and you're going to find yourself that your 25 medical dispensaries are down to 2. Why? Because there's so much more money to make it recreational. And once recreational comes, you're just like any other person smoking pot. Because medical's not there, neither is that label. So that's why it's important, and I tell people and have told people this for years. If you have a state that has medical marijuana and is going to get it, you make sure you fight for that shit and keep that even when recreational comes. Because trust me, we're not just anybody smoking pot. We're patient. And you should always keep that in mind, because once they take that, when I-502 was pretty much abolished in Washington, who cares if you're a medical patient? So all those medical patients, they had to pay 35% more to get their meds. Think about that. That's the way to see it. If you can't see it any other way, think about you will not be able to afford to be a medical patient.
And that's what scares me about my home state of Florida. I understand that, they got a medical program down there that's already sucking high and tit. Now you got people that wants to regulate it to where it be recreational as well. I applaud them on doing that, and I understand both sides of the coin. But once again, as a medical patient myself, I have to look out for those people that's medical. So this is the thing I ask, that if any other law to be changed down there in Florida is this. Make some provisions for the medical patient. Once again, let me put it to you in words where you can understand. Make sure before you regulate this to go to a recreational status that you take care of your medical patients. Down in Florida, more than anybody else, most of your patients, and I do say most of your patients down in the state of Florida is going to be over the age of 50. They're already struggling just to get this medication. And now you talking about kicking that football even further away for people that need it? Unless you're going to plan to put a grow policy in the place of that as well. And that's another thing I stress about is growing. Right now, I have an argument here in South Carolina due to the fact is some of my friends and family members here in this state alone only get less than $800 a month on regardless of what kind of check it is. And that's what they have to live off of. Now, the question is, if we get a medical marijuana program, are we going to make provisions for that individual to get subsidized cannabis and subsidized medical cannabis cards?
Well,
shown in the past that hasn't happened.
If people took their time and looked around what other places are doing, that's a great question, because here's what they did in Pennsylvania for that question. So they put a fund aside for people who are in capped incomes who can't afford it out of their pocket. You can get it paid for in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to talk. That's why I talk to everybody across the U.S. because they only look at, and this is in the state of South Carolina I'm talking about, they're only looking at a couple of states. You have to look at every state that's passed this medical law and take a little from each state. And once again, I beg of the state of South Carolina, please put a medical grow into this, because it's going to be some people that cannot afford this. And Oppie's enjoying his dab, guys. So we're going to keep talking about he's enjoying his dab. It's so important. I mean, I'm going to be one of those people that can't afford to get a card or cannabis. What I'm going to do 1 month, I'm going to have to get a card. The next month, I'm going to have to get my cannabis. No, that's not going to work. And then on top of it, on the medical program that they're trying to pass, they're going to limit the amount of dispensaries and grows. That is the most ludicrous idea I ever had seen. Don't believe me? Ask the people in the state of Florida.
And see, and that's why it's important, too, with these programs that people are writing and bills people are writing. You, as an individual, anybody listening or anybody that just is a patient, you want to grow your own, too. You want to be able to grow your own plant. You want to grow your own medicine. Truly, that's the way it should be. Because realistically, why do I need to go and pay some jackass that don't know shit about a bud to get my medicine?
Right.
I grow it yourself. We all have a closet.
We all have a secure space that we can lock it up in. Because we know for a fact, me and you both know this, Oppie, that everybody's not going to be able to grow. We know this.
Well, everybody's not going to be able to grow, but guess what? There's always going to be at least 5 people like us that want to teach other people how to grow.
Exactly.
All you got to do is link up. So, I mean, when you think about it, you can put a rebuttal there, but there's always an answer to go with it, because the one thing we all have in common is what? Our endocannabinoid system.
Exactly.
So we all got something to talk about.
Yeah, we do. We always have something to talk about that. But once again, I am just so sad that you stepped aside. Do you have an idea about how long you're gonna be stepping aside, Oppie, or you just gonna wait till the moment hits you right and say, okay, I'm ready?
Well, see, I in the past couple weeks, we've had some conflict with the government, and it's just best to just sit back right now and enjoy what I got, because I'm not in fucking prison.
Hello. Hey, that's better word. Not no better word said. I mean, sometimes you do have to tread lightly, and I get sideways look from my friends and family. They say, "Do you be scared?" I say, "It's like this here. They gonna lock me up for words. They gonna have a problem." But they're trying, in some places, in some states, they're trying to. So I do try to tread lightly, knowing what I know right now. But at the same time, I can't do myself a disservice or any other patient that can't speak up. It ain't like I can deny that I do. You know what I'm saying?
And here's where I'm at when I say I'm stepping aside. I'm stepping aside publicly and so loudly. I'm still here for patients. I'm still here for people to get educated. I mean, it's not like I'm just going to drop off the face of the earth, but I'm going to be spending more time focused on myself and my children.
Cool.
And that's the big goal here.
There you go.
It's not like I'm just not doing no event. I'm not doing nothing like that. I need my space. My world don't need to be so big.
I feel Yeah, sometimes you do have to do that. I understand, because after a while, I mean, you look at, like, for example, this has been 5 years that we've been talking about this, and I didn't realize me and you both have been running a hell of a race for 5 years, and it didn't hit me till today.
Pretty crazy.
Yes, it is, and I got some serious. After I leave the show today, I got some serious thinking. You got me really thinking, Oppie, to be honest with you. No, I'm not going to stop doing the shows or anything, but I really need to take a strong look at this. I really do, because me and you, since we started this, and you started in your lane, and I started out here in my lane, and we both met in Colorado, and we're since still, I'm back here in South Carolina, and you're in Pennsylvania now. That lets you know that what we're doing keeps us moving and motivated. But at some time, you have to take your rest. And to your family, I wish them much love, and take you and hug you real tight. But understand when you need to go back, hey, understand it. And that's a conversation that a lot of us activists have to have with our families. The fact is this, that we do this because we do love our family as well as we love the people that we're trying to help. And in my case, I have grandkids, someday hope to have great grandkids, and I have great nieces and nephews, some that I know for a fact need this medicine to survive. I'm blessed to the fact most of them are in the state of Florida, but for those who don't live in those states, my fight continues. So doing that, I can't, right now I can't stop. I took my little break. I'm going to have to find a way. Me and yoga and meditation and everything that's going to have to work its magic, because I know for a fact sooner or later with Sessions doing what he's doing, it's going to be harder and harder for me to get what I need to survive here in South Carolina. It's already starting.
And see, that's the thing too. Yeah, you're right. And and it's just going to get worse, because we were at such a good momentum of this, and it's just going to get worse because the next thing is that the government's going to have to reschedule it. They're just going to make us pay the shit dearly for it before they do so.
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you like this. If you get a chance, go on the government website and pull up all the bills. I got it listed on my Facebook page. And the one that scares me is where they're talking about the government. I can't remember. I think it was 1844. I don't remember exactly. Go up on the U.S. government website and put in cannabis or marijuana. It will pull up all the laws that they have currently, to be voted on or talked about or discussed on the books there in D.C. This one scares me the most. They want to regulate it like alcohol. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I do not want Uncle Sam in my business when it comes down to regulating like alcohol, because if they regulate it like alcohol, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, nobody will get to grow. Are you there, Oppie?
No. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, my phone's acting up.
Oh, that's okay. I think it's something that's going on in the air. I had 3 drop phone calls yesterday, so that's why I got nervous for a second. I'm like, oh no, did Oppie call drop?
So if you don't mind, though, do you mind me making my part way out and saying thank you? I'm honored for having me on your show and being my last show for now. And people like you have kept me going too, and I thank you, Rosemary, for everything you've done to make the world a better place and are doing, my friend. I am so honored.
Well, thank you so much, Oppie.
Everybody out there at 710 Radio and Blunt Radio, all those guys too. Thank you guys for all what you do. I Make Radio, for what they all do to make the world a better place. And the next time we talk, we'll probably be on this radio show, if not before. And again, thank you so much, Rosemary.
Well, thank you so much, Oppie. God bless you and love you. And I'll be sending you that address as soon as I get off the air, okay? Love you.
All
Big
right.
hugs, SOS. Smoke on, son.
Love.
Bye. Oppie's Law. Wow. Oppie's gonna make me cry. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oppie's gonna really make me cry, because Oppie don't realize it, but he was one of the first group of people that I did meet in Colorado in 2014. And to know that such a powerful person has to step aside. I'm not privileged to share all the information offline, but say it like this: when he steps aside, he does love everybody, and I do mean everybody, with what all he has done for the past 5 years. And for him, I think this is the right time. Oppie, I'm gonna be honest with you, enjoy your family. When you're ready to come back, regardless of where I'm at, you got an open mic, my friend. And that's something that I want to talk about in another show on another day, is how much we as a cannabis community put it out there for everybody, but sometimes we don't take care of ourselves, and I understand that totally, 110%. Oppie, man, I love you. I'm gonna have to take a break, guys, because I'm really choked up right now. We're in tune to 710 Radio, the Rosemary's World of Cannabis. I'll be back.
Are you feeling like a shadow of yourself? Is your mood on its way down? You could be suffering from low THC, also known as cannabinoid deficiency, caused by 77 years of government interference via prohibition. Do you live in a medical cannabis state or the District of Columbia? Are you over the age of 18 and seeking non-toxic natural health, well-being, and peace of mind? Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. After 10,000 years of recorded human use and 77 years of failed prohibition on the world's most extensively tested plant, the results are in. Cannabis has no known lethal dose and is arguably the safest and most comprehensive therapeutic substance known to man. Cannabis remained in the United States pharmacopoeia until 1941, and cannabinoids are currently patented by the federal government as an anti-inflammatory. U.S. Patent 6630507. Human brains have cannabinoid receptors. Cannabinoids are lubricants in the human body. Due to prohibition, our bodies have been denied essential lubrication. Imagine never changing or adding to the oil in your car. The use of cannabis for low THC may cause immediate relief, including a general feeling of well-being, chronic smiling or laughing, feelings of euphoria, increased creativity or clarity, a greater appreciation for music and art, the desire to dance, increased feelings of inspiration, compassion or unity, a need for truth and justice, or you may wake feeling more well-rested than usual. It's undetermined to know exactly how many symptoms the use of cannabis may alleviate because of federal prohibition. There were dozens identified in the 1909 Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Handbook. Currently, over 80% of the population supports the right to use cannabis therapeutically, and 92% of its users have declared significant non-toxic relief. The most common side effects, which are usually mild to moderate and may fade or disappear completely over time, are dry mouth and drowsiness. Other more serious side effects can include growing and repairing brain cells and DNA, or improve vision, may prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, glaucoma, nausea, and suicide. May provide relief from autism, asthma, anorexia, arthritis, AIDS, cancer, Crohn's, depression, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, gout, IBS, insomnia, MS, migraine, pain, Parkinson's, PTSD, and spasticity. Use caution while driving or doing other physical activities until you know how cannabis affects you. May cause paranoia or nervousness specifically caused by real-life government intervention in your quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the USA. Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. Brought to you as a public service announcement by the People's Plant, a campaign of conscience.
And we're back. It is now 51 minutes after the hour. Guys, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in today. This is a hard show for me, I'm going to be honest with you, because when you work with people like Oppie and so many other people that's, been in this fight for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, how many ever long years that we've been doing it, it's hard. And it's hard to step away. But at the same time, I love the fact that he's still going to be there for the patients that need him. And I thank him for that. Wow. Man, I mean, just to see him, just to know that he's going to step down like that, wow, that's incredible. But our fight still continue. I fight for Oppie and I fight for so many other people that doing the right thing, man. I mean, it's hard. And you think about how many times we don't get backing for this, or, what little we do get, we have to put it right back into whatever programs we're working with, guys. And it's not easy. It's not easy for Oppie to even come on the air today and say what he did say. I know this personally for a fact. And it's a lot more he would have loved to share with us, but for reasons beyond both our controls, he cannot do that. So, Oppie, I love you, man. And if I pressed you too much, I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to do that. But at the same time, I know people are asking the same questions that I am, because you're loved so much and loved by so many out there in the past years that you've been doing Oppie's Law. So, man, we love you. We want you to stay strong. We want your family to know that we love you as well, and that you're a good person with a good heart. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. That as my character, as Miss Green Jeans, and personally as myself, as Rosemary Wallace. I love you, my brother. And be strong and be well. So, guys, we got a lot of stuff that's going on around the area. Let me see if I can pull up some of this information real quick, because I like to give everybody the time and the opportunity to share what information they want to share and whatever. But I do know we got a lobbering day, I believe it's today, in Florida, in Tallahassee. If you haven't went yet, you still got time. If you're in the Tallahassee area, check out the lobby day that's going on. Let me go ahead and pull up Facebook real quick to fill these last couple minutes. Come on. Facebook is being slow today because I can't pull it up on the computer because it doesn't feel crash. Love my life. Let's see here. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, I talked about that. Talked about the celebrity stoner. Oh, by the way, if you live in the Rock Hill, Charlotte area, if you live in North or South Carolina, get ready. We're getting snow. Once again, this is not a drill. We are getting snow here, guys, and y'all do know how it gets crazy around this area. So if you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, or whatever area that storm finna hit, this southern storm, go ahead, go get your milk, bread, eggs, your wraps, your blunts, your sheets, whatever. Make sure you stop by your dispensary, or y'all know I hate to use this on radio, but y'all know y'all got that weed man out there y'all going to. Make sure you get stocked up, because we don't know how long this storm's gonna be. They say it's supposed to be a short storm, but last time around this time they said it was supposed to be a short storm. We're supposed to get 1 to 2 inches. We got 4 to 6 inches. So be careful out there. Just get your supplies that you need to survive in the house the next couple of days, guys. That's all I'm asking for you to do, because I don't want you to be sitting home miserable, because I'm gonna be in the house. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I'll be talking to y'all on the show, but I'm already straight. I've already taken care of all the precautions, because I started seeing the news coming out ahead of time. So, just get ready. Okay, I want to share an article from Peachtree Normal of Valdosta, Georgia. They got a legalization march and lobby day. That is going to be, let's see, what day is that going to be? Let me pull that up. I'm trying to pull up the information. Oh, that legalization march and lobby day is going to be February 1st. It's going to be at the Georgia State Capitol And if you want any more information, look on my Facebook page, and I've already got it shared for Norma in Georgia, and it's by Peachtree Norma of Valdosta, Georgia. I've joined several groups with Norma down there in the Peachtree area. Thank y'all for sharing and carrying your events, and believe me, I'm going to get it out there. But one thing I do want to share with y'all, Peachtree Norma shared of Valdosta, Georgia, Congressional House Bill 1227 will bring an end to federal prohibition. Take the time to contact your Congress, House representative, and tell them to support this bill now. It's the time to get together. We can end prohibition. This is not specifically an American marijuana bill, but to end marijuana as a Schedule I drug. And if you want to look up this bill, the address is congress.gov. It's H.R. 1227. It's in the 115 Congress 2017-2018 Act, Ending Federal Marijuana Prohibition Act. That's what it is. House H.R. 1227. We've been talking about this for the last few days. And I strongly support this bill because this bill is the only bill that will get North and South Carolina an opportunity to have what we need, regardless if it's medical or not. If we're able to grow it, we'll be able to grow it ourselves. And I told you the reasons why early you want to grow that, because of what they got going on in Colorado right now. I personally want to know what's going in my plant. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to know what kind of chemicals are being used, and personally, I wouldn't use any chemicals. So I would feel better knowing that. But for those who can't grow, I understand that too. But for those of us who want to grow, we want that opportunity. South Carolina, do you feel me now? Do you listen? Are you hearing the words that are coming out my mouth? I can't put it no plainly. I will support any bill, but I will always state that in the state of South Carolina, there needs to be something put in there where people can grow their own medicine, because the current plans that y'all have will not work due to the facts of what's going on in the state of Florida. They got a dog mess, and nobody wants to wait another 3 to 5 years. A lot of patients don't have that time. And we already got family members and friends and family here in South Carolina that's talking about moving to other states. And it's not right. And it's not fair for you to have to relocate to another state to be well, when House and Congress can walk less than 50 feet away to one of their friends there in Washington and enjoy the fruits of somebody else's labor. I'm just stating, guys. It's not right. It's not fair. And I'm not knocking the people of D.C. I'm not hating on the people of D.C. Matter of fact, I'm congratulating the people of D.C. because they do have cannabis. They can't sell it, but they can give it away. Matter of fact, I think it's about time for me to make another trip down to D.C. to see everybody anyway. Hi, my friends out in D.C. Miss you, love you. Waiting on that weather to clear up so I can come see you. And, if you get a chance, go to D.C. I'm serious, go to D.C. Besides seeing what our district is about, you get a chance to meet some great people in the cannabis industry as well. So if you get a chance, just check it out. You'll be glad you did. Spend a couple of days down there, talk to the people down there about the rules and regulations. They're liking it. Yeah, it's not perfect, and yeah, they got some assholes that's making it bad for everybody else. That goes on with any law. And just keep that in mind. And I'm going to get ready to close the show like this. Guys, when somebody works for 5 years straight, trying to fight for rights for everybody, and they have to take a break, that's a warning. 5 years is too many years to be saying the same thing. Yeah, they got a chance to feel feel the effects of what it feels like to be free, but at the same time, how can you be free when you know that others are not? As y'all always hear me say, nobody's free until we're all free. And y'all always know I say we lose. I'm not going to say the number 22 anymore, because it's way more than that. We're losing 2 million veterans a day to opioids, to suicide, to stupidity of the laws itself. I'm going to just put it that way. Because if the laws would change, we wouldn't lose as many veterans as we do. But once again, big government and big pharma steps in the way, because we have veterans out there that if they use in a medical state, they can lose their benefits that they work so hard for. And once again, that ain't right. So think about it like this, guys. Next time, if you're in a legal state and you take that hit, that dab, that vape, whatever, thank that person. Thank that activist. Thank that lobbyist. We don't get thanks enough. We don't. I love y'all. I'll be back tomorrow morning to do the Wake and Bake show with Miss Green Jeans. Be safe, guys, for those who are not in legal states. And for those in legal states, get on the phone and make the call, y'all. Love you. Thank you, Rick. Bye now.